This life we live is full of hatred. Nemo wafumulu imoni madonye bonye. You wait the plant of big person, waiting to be okay. This life is owned by God. You want to spoil my name. Emelungikinio, Opasomakanu. Say I don't go for waiting at the do. Opasomakanu. You want to up your own, you can't drop on my own. Opasomakanu. Ubu manesina mala.
Tell me what we do, everybody want to kill us. They want to take what belongs to us. Try. We they love our neighbors, so we they love ourselves too. So it is written in the holy book. Biko biko kodo onyolu welu monu aya na mehera ino onyolu welu monu onyo yo chai chukwu kikele anyị na bogi bia nyela anya. The time is now. We want to go. Remember your promises. Oh, na me onuzo ke Biafra. Merani onuzo ke Biafra. Na merani onuzo ke Biafra. Merani onuzo ke Biafra. Ndị Roman anyị gburugburu a na-achịwepụ ndụ anyị n'ike. They are holding our lead. Mazin Africa. Now is Prime Minister. Mazin Simon. We shall rise and so the land of rising sun is our hope. Papa, because ani na yogi bikonu sitende muziki kame iwele yo me happy na onye wani be onu so ke Biafra Tell me what we do, everybody want to kill us. They want to take what belongs to us. Try. We they love our neighbors, so we Anina yogi bikonu.
At this point, All that are able to stand can stand, please. DJ, please get ready for the national anthem, please. Sorry, not the DJ.
Oi maamme Suomi synnyin maa, soi sana kultainen. Ei Laaksoa, ei Kukkula, ei vettä rantaa rakkaampaa. Kuin kotimaa tää pohjoinen, join maata Kukoistukses kuorestaan kerrankin puhkeaa. Mielemme saa nousemaan, sun toivos riemuus loistossaan. Ja kerran laulus synnyin korkeimman kaiun saa. Mielemme saa nousemaan, sun toivos riemuus loistossaan. Ja kerran laulus synnyin korkeimman kaiun saa.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and we have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In him we trust. Shout it, sing it, all hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious. Our trumpets pealing, the glorious song, play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra, we shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes, our precious kingdom, both day and night. Say them always, all hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Our star shines everywhere. We crave humility. God guide and protect us all. All hail your wisdom. She unleashed by all and might and might. Biafra, shining forever.
Please keep standing. Let us observe a moment of silence for the fallen Biafra heroes and heroines. We do this to solemnly reflect on their sacrifices, because we will never forget. The moment starts now. May their souls rest in peace. Thank you. And please remain standing if you can until after the invocation. At this point, we invite our leader, Onyendu Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, to open today's event.
Elohim Adonai El Shaddai, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the Lord of all the hosts of heaven, the ancient of days, as they would say, the ancients of the ancients. Everything you created is yours. Every glory and adoration is yours. Everything that we are today, likely to become tomorrow, is all in your hands. They belong to you. Every glory is yours. It doesn't belong to any man. It is only to thee. We are tired of our sinful struggle in life, both as individuals, as a collective, and as a nation. And we are not ashamed to admit that before the congregation, the assembly of men and women all over the world, that you may know that it cometh from our heart, that we are not deceitful. We don't pray this prayer in the quiet, or should I say in the secrets or secrecy of our home. We are praying it that the whole world may hear us, because right now, our nation, the nation of Biafra, as a collective, we feel very distant from you. Our choices have not led us into the right places. We have listened to the whispers of the enemies instead of your words in your own scriptures. And the result has been disastrous. The result has been Miyeti Allah, a terrorist group forming their own vigilante, something that is unheard of anywhere in this world. We once walked with you, our heart tender, because you led us in the spirit. Yet, little by little, we exchanged your truths for temptations and deceit that led many away from you. Instead of taking thoughts captive and confessing them immediately, we allowed ourselves to grow totally. Repentance was not in our vocabulary. Blame upon blame, cover up upon cover up, or trying to reason and rationalize reason has never worked with you. Nobody can rationalize their cover-ups or their blames. They only give birth to deeper sin entanglements. Yes, you created us in your image, O Almighty God of Israel. You know our thoughts before we even speak them. You x-ray the hearts of men and see through our sham excuses and intentions. Your spirit has warned us repeatedly, but we ignored you. Disappointment and discouragement have taken their toll on your children. So today we are confessing before the whole world our desperate need as individuals, as a collective, and a nation for you. You have promised us that if we will confess our sins, you will forgive us and make us clean again. We truly need your forgiveness. Repentance is on our hearts and lips. We want to turn around and head another direction back to you, O Elohim, but we need your help. As you created the world out of nothing, create a clean heart out of nothingness in us. our lives and the fellowship we once had together. You do not condemn because you're God, and you will not disown your own, which is IPOB and Biafra. We are your children forever. But we take all the blame. We own our own sin. We are the ones who broke fellowship with you, and we are crushed over the way that we have come to thee and treated thy word and your holy name. We ask for your forgiveness, your love, your abiding grace, and your mercy, that this same family of IPOB that you ordained in heaven and manifest on this very earth at this time, at this very age, may live to fulfill that which you have promised, that which you foretold, because your words are yea and amen, that this Biafra may come in our time, that mankind may know that indeed there is no greater power than thee, that you are truly the Almighty God, the Lord of hosts of the heavens and this very earth. And this Biafra will come, and your children, Biafrans all over the world, will adore your holy name. We shall sing songs of joy unto your holiness. Every generation of Biafrans that will ever have the honor of walking this very earth shall offer ceaseless praise and adoration unto your holy name, that they may know that indeed we are the children of light, to the glory of your name and your name alone, now and forevermore we pray. He said,
Please, you can sit. Thank you, Onyendu Mazin Namdekano, for that prayer. Before we start, some announcements, please. Like yesterday, let us only come to the podium when we are invited. Let us keep the aisles free, not occupied, and please make sure you're not standing so as not to block the view of the people behind you. There is an announcement of a missing British passport. If anyone has found a passport that belongs to Mrs. Ngozi Powell, please either come to me or give it to Mazuche right here. Mrs. Ngozi Powell, she's looking for her British passport. She said she arrived the venue yesterday with the passport, but misplaced it. Thank you. At this point, we call on the Director General of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to introduce the Eritrean president. Director General.
Name is Honorable Dr. Joy Irobi.
So, Dr. Irobi will be introducing using the Eritrean president to talk to us about the relationship between Eritrea and the Biafra nation.
Good morning, great Biafrans. It's a privilege for us to be all here today after the amazing day, yesterday's event. So without taking so much time, it's very important to know that as Biafrans, we are not alone. There are also other nations that are having to struggle and to fight for their liberation. So we have the Amazonian, but today we also have the Eritrean. So let us all be joyful, knowing that in an alliance with joint force, we are able to stand for the freedom of our people. So without not taking so much time, I would like to invite the Eritrean president to come up and really talk to us so that you will all also be encouraged to know that we are not alone. And in an alliance where there are joint forces, victory is for the people. Without taking more time, I would like to invite you. Please come.
We shall
أرسنال مثل بهران حانت كنسا إريترا سمنات وغازن تنقفنا إلى غازن تنسى خبرا أرسنال مثل بهران حانت كنسا إريترا سلالم كبيرة تبدو أو علم وعلم خسر قلتك حلوة سرير ولا ناب وعلم وفر سمرتنا محاكي رزقا ولتنا الخبر العميرة مرنا أرضنا علينا السلطاني بالواغر الكرة حارب تسعى المغرب عالسلام عملت كسر كيلوات وغانق مكفر سمنا
Good morning, everyone. Primarily, I want to thank everyone here. Everybody that came from everywhere. We all have a purpose. We have a reason. In that case, I think you guys made the house look beautiful. So I'm very proud to be part of it. So I'm glad, of course, to be part of this gathering. And this is for the announcement or declaration of the Republic of Biafran government in Lehi, Finland. But I'm also incredibly proud to be here, not only as a guest, but as a partner, a supporter, representative, and president of the Eritrean government in exile. I'm here to show solidarity, to support the Biafran movement for independence. And since I joined, we have decided to work closely to achieve our common goal. Many of you may have recognized me on social media, making some loud noises. It might not be as loud as Prime Minister's. And we also have conducted a joint interview to show the world that we have created a bond with the Biafran people, which is hard to separate. Well, it is funny today, the Prime Minister is supposed to be here to introduce me, but looking around, where could he be? He's everywhere. He's right here standing with me. He's right there with all of you. So you're right to say welcome to Prime Minister. So he's here with us. We are to tell the enemies, you cannot stop us from doing what we think we should do. We are not about dying. We are about Of course, my name is Gabri Bahadurai, and I am the president of the Transitional Eritrean Government in Exile. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have been in many publications alongside with the Biafra movement lately. Of course, we operate from the United States. We thought we get a lot of help as a base in the United States. We are represented by the law firm of the Moran Global Enterprise in Washington, D.C. The same office also represents the Biafran government in exile. So we are very close partner to work on the common cause. So the Biafran people are fighting for their freedom, for their independence from the Nigerian government. And the Eritrean people looking at freedom for their people from a very authoritarian regime of Eritrea. So we have a common cause to fight alongside each other. We are doing a marvelous job in Washington, D.C., thanks to our respectful lobbying firm. And right here, I'd like to recognize, if you may stand, Ilias Gerasleos. So thanks to them, we receive a lot of friends, a lot of people, a lot of ears that can listen to both of us. I've been in many meetings alongside with the Biafran government in exile. I can see what kind of job we're doing up there. I think we got the straight line right now. We walk in the straight line where it fits. So we're doing a great job. If I must correlate, what do we have in common? The Biafrans and the Eritreans both are under a very repressive and cruel and ruthless governments. Of course, Biafrans won their independence from Nigeria. And as I said, we won our freedom for 30 years, 33 years, of course, with no election, with no constitution, the gross violation of human rights. And we are known as the North Korea of Africa. Figure it out what it means. We are under a very brutal administration. Biafra had its independence 1967 through 1970. It was short-lived, thanks but not thanks to the Nigerian government that betrayed the trust of the Biafran people. And because of that, a very brutal civil war has been incited, and it did not have a good ending. The Biafran people and the Eritrean people, Eritrea gained from Ethiopia after 31 years war, and many lives has been lost on both sides. At birth of our armed struggle, we were called all sorts of names, including we were terrorists. But we were not terrorists. We were freedom fighters. And at this juncture, I see similarities that they're going to name or tag a name on the freedom fighters of the Biafrans as terrorists. They are not terrorists. They are freedom fighters. As we know, yes, freedom is not free. It requires for us to pay a price. Now, Biafrans, for what we're doing, we just need to go to the next or shift to the higher gear. Renew our promises, renew our pledge to double down our efforts to stick together and give it all. Because I think this is the time. Today is the time, but not tomorrow. So we should be ready to pay any sacrifice that it demands. For the rest of the world, just to give you a hint or a background, why the Biafrans are looking for their independence. In 1960, Nigeria became independent from the United Kingdom, as with many nations of Africa. But the country's borders did not reflect earlier ethnic, cultural, religious, or political boundaries. Thus, which has Muslims majority, primarily comprised of the indigenous Sokoto Caliphate territory. The southern population is predominantly Christian, and many consists of the territory of the indigenous Yoruba and the Igbo states in the west and east. Following independence, Nigeria was demarcated primarily along ethnic lines, which are the Hausa, the Fulani, the Yoruba, and the Igbo majority in the east. In that time, of course, there was ethnic tensions which simmered in Nigeria during the discussion of the independence. And it led to several ethnic and religious riots. Biafra was partially recognized, actually was fully recognized in that 1967 and 1970. And we had some good friends. That was like Gabon, Haiti, Ivory Coast, Tanzania, and Zambia. These are officially recognized the Biafra nation. And there were some that recognized as de facto recognition from France, Portugal, Israel, South Africa, and Rhodesia. Therefore, we are still looking for those friends to show up. History repeats itself. So as we do our fight, we should always remember who our friends are and who our enemies are. Despite it all, despite all these crimes by the Nigerian government, the Igbo nationalism, however, it became a solid political and social force after the Civil War. It has grown more militant, of course, starting in the 1990s, calling for the revival of Biafra. To get to your attention for some time, people thought the Biafran movement is dead. The Biafran movement is alive. The word that needs to be told to the world is what I'm saying. So because of the various forces that have emerged, but however right now, it is time for all the forces to join together for a common cause, focus on our fight to free the Biafran people against the main target, which is the Nigerian government. Biafra must unite in one front under umbrella of the Republic of Biafra government in exile and the leadership of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Yeah. What happened during this convention? Ooh, I smell some rotten eggs. Do I sense some suspicion? Prime Minister Simon is in prison? Why now? Could someone have a motive to sabotage the convention, which is very important convention to restore the Declaration of Independence? But they were not able to stop us. We're still running and moving. Yes. They need to hear the Biafran voices loud and clear. When you cut one of us, we're not dying. And instead, we are multiplying into hundreds, thousands, and even millions until we reach the destination and the destination of freedom. This is a freedom fight, not about if, but about when. Biafra deserves to be free. And it will be free no matter the cost it demands. The Biafrans have faced So many arrests, torture, disappearances, calculated repression, and even death by the Nigerian government. If that is the sacrifice is what is needed, Biafrans are ready to pay more life for the future free and democratic Republic of Biafra and for the freedom of their kids. In the journey for independence or freedom, of course, you will face many obstacles and challenges. You will cross through so many fences, but you must endure and work together as a united front against your sole enemy, the Nigerian government, in order to achieve your goal and avoid targeting at each other. Remember what all repressors have in common: divide and rule. No matter what they do, we must unite in order to defeat them. We must organize and galvanize our Biafran community, whenever they might be, to support the movement for the freedom and the free Republic of Biafra for the benefit of all Biafrans. I think Biafrans are living under what I call a forced marriage by the Nigerian government. Anytime you have a forced marriage, it's not sustainable. It cannot live happily in peace and tranquility. The forced marriage reached a point of no return. Biafra do not wish ill of the Nigerian people, but they are demanding a divorce today, not tomorrow. If possible, Biafrans desire for their independence at a minimum cost, for the sake of the Biafran people and for the sake of the Nigerian people. If it was able to achieve the freedom through peaceful negotiations, settlements, dialogue, mediation, in that case, Biafra is ready to engage, while realizing there is no such words as peace that exists in the vocabulary of the Nigerian government. So Biafrans are simply asking to be free in order to decide their future. The hurt these forced marriage is creating is very painful, and it's leaving a lot of scars in the heart, painful memories, which is hard to forgive and forget. Biafran hearts are bleeding. They want the divorce, the marriage to end today, not even tomorrow. I could not conclude my presentation without explaining and giving you the good news why the Eritrean government is also here at your convention. We come here equipped with our flag, with our national anthem, and a sharp pen. I'm ready today to recognize the independence of Biafran government. Thank you. Yeah. So when we signed that agreement for the We will be the first nation to recognize the Biafran movement. And we ask other friends, other nations to follow suit. This should encourage for the rest to come, support the Biafran nation as the one before. There's nothing to stop them. For God's sake, 80 million population under repression, it is unheard of. So other nations should come and follow suit to support this movement of the Biafran people. We're going to do that. We're going to do that with a stroke of a pen, not a machine gun. So the enemies learn. You can do it peacefully. You can let Biafra free. So what can that accomplish? This recognition and the Declaration of Independence. The sky is the limit now. The sky is the limit to go. It is waiting some work from us. With a little bit of diplomacy, yes, we can ask nations, yes, even go to as far as to the United Nations to seek representation, come to the list as a observer nation, the same they do to the Palestinian nation. So we got a way to go, but it is doable. From here, nobody can stop you. As I finish my speech, I see some glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel. I think it is a light of hope. It must be a light of justice. It is a light of freedom. It is a light of peace. It is a light of love. It is a light of togetherness. It is a light of prosperity. It is a light of happiness. A light of Biafrans going home. And above all, I believe this is a light of an independent Biafran nation. God bless the Republic of Biafra. God bless the nation of Eritrea. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great Biafrans, we are very much encouraged. We want to thank Eritrean President Bagdurai for his noble words. Biafra, indeed, we are alive under the Biafra Republic government in exile. And we are going to get this together in a joint force. We are going to focus on who are the problems. And we are going to know that there is nothing more fulfilling than freedom for our people. So without taking much time, I would like us to give another round of applause to Eritrean president. Thank you so much. USB. So now we are going to go on with the program, and I'm going to be inviting, and we go to the next agenda. We are going home, Biafrans. We are going home. Are you all ready?
Come to my village and they drop bomb on my people. Yeah. Jet fighter pass from my village.
Yes, that's our Director General, Professor Roby. Thank you, Professor Roby. And we thank the President of Eritrea, President Baduria. Thank you so much for being a friend of Biafra. Thank you. Great Biafrans, We know that we have a lot of dignitaries here. I know Biafrans at home and Biafrans here and every other place in the world are pumped because we have a lot of Biafra friends and well-wishers. And the next Biafra friend, our lobbyist, everyone knows him. In fact, we even call him our brother from another mother. So I call on our Minister of Finance, Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, to introduce our lobbyist Elias.
Struggle autopilot until they come out. Someone not the pilot. Go to hell, tell Elisa we know before.
Hello, dear friends. Ogechi, Ogechi, Kama. Ogechi, Ogechi, Kama. Ogechi, Ogechi, Kama. Ogechi, Ogechi, Kama. Thank you, thank you. On behalf of my boss, my Prime Minister, I'm here again on the day 2 of our journey. And we have been going to Washington, D.C. lately, meeting with Congress, and we are opportune to meet with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. And if you don't know, Mike Johnson is the #3 ranking most powerful person on earth. After the president, you have the vice president, then the Speaker of the House. And we have met with a lot of Congress men and women, and we have somebody who make that happen. That is the Jim Mora firm. We have our lobbyist here with us, Elias. I call him my friend, and I call him my brother. So we have been in this journey together. Please welcome Elias. Elias be doing a really great job. Thank you. Take the stage.
Thank you. Thank you for that very generous introduction from the Minister of Finance. Please give him a round of applause for his tireless dedication to the government, and I appreciate his tremendous support. I also want to provide thanks to the Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to the Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, to the Chief of Staff, Dr. Oro Boezi, and all of the honorable cabinet ministers we have here today. To all the dignitaries, and most importantly, to the people of Biafra. Thank you. I also want to provide my personal wishes and prayers for the Prime Minister and his family during this challenging time, and will support him to see him through this moment of challenge. I also want to pass along the regards of my colleague, former Congressman Jim Moran, who wanted to come but could not do so due to some personal obligations. I just want to speak extemporaneously for a moment. I didn't write my speech, but I just want to make some comments about how I got involved in this wonderful movement, in the struggle, because I do think, looking back retroactively, I think there was a divine providence that brought me into this. So it was very interesting. I've known about Biafra for some years. I knew about the indigenous people of Biafra. The IPOB was not involved. One day, by complete accident, online, when doing some research, I came across this Biafra Republic Government Exile website, and I was very surprised. I thought to myself, when did a Biafra government come into being? So I clicked on the website I looked through it. I became more and more interested. And then I'm in ECBA. Minister ECBA, and yeah. So I became more and more intrigued. I went to his Wikipedia. I read it, talking about all the work he's doing, how he's based in Finland, and I became more and more intrigued. I was like, this is such an interesting person. I have to find out what's going on here. So I sent an email to the general email of the Biafra Republic Government Exile website, just saying that I was interested in learning more about the organization because I was genuinely curious. This seemed very fascinating to me. And I received back an email personally from the Prime Minister saying he wanted to speak with me. So we spoke for the first time, and I was immediately impressed. I saw how brilliant he was. I saw that he was a visionary leader. I saw that he knew he was doing, how tactical he was. But most important, I saw that he had the special, intangible qualities of a leader and a historic leader. And I immediately knew there's something very, very special here. And this is something I've experienced with. I've dealt with leaders, presidents, prime ministers all over the world of different countries. My own family, I come from a revolutionary family in Greece where we've had many generations of freedom fighters. So I have a good instinct when it comes to who has leadership qualities. And I could tell, okay, this person has something very special. And if I work with him, I think we could actually achieve what he wants to achieve. Yeah. Yes. So over time, over many months, we developed a very close personal relationship. And also, he saw something in me, and he said, I really want you to get involved in this. I want you to be part of this cause. And so I began formally my lobbying representation June this year, and I think in a few months, we've changed the course of history. So I think there are larger forces at play, and I'm very glad that divine providence has brought me into this and will see us through this and to the goal that we want to achieve. And when I first started this journey, when I first was presented by the Prime Minister to the Biafran people, I said that I'll not only be a lobbyist, but a fellow freedom fighter for the independence of Biafra. And today, I greet you as victorious independence fighters, because that's what you are. Yeah, my friends, this occasion is an illustrious one that will forever be in our hearts and will be passed along to future posterity as a seminal moment in our great struggle for freedom. The independence of Biafra will not only be a symbol of hope for the continent of Africa, but the entire world. Biafra will be a symbol of pride. In the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy and the United States government played an important role in supporting the decolonization of Africa and supporting various African independence leaders and African nationalist movements. President Kennedy understood that supporting the African people rather than the European colonists was not only the right thing to do and the moral thing to do, but in the interest of the United States, which at the time had been competing with the Soviet Union for influence in Africa and throughout the world. Similarly, in this new age of great power competition, the United States has an obligation to support the new African independence movements of the 21st century and put an end to the legacy of neocolonialism in Africa. And Nigeria is one of the worst examples of neocolonialism, a failed British project. And the rise of Biafra will put an end to this nonsense in Africa. As the Biafran government lobbyist in Washington, D.C., I've taken the Biafran message, or we could even say the Biafran gospel, to the highest levels. We have spoken to the Congress. We have spoken to the White House. We have spoken to the think tanks and the decision makers in Washington. As the finance minister said, we have met with and presented the Biafra Charter to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, the third highest level official in the United States government. And we've met with many members of Congress. The results have been overwhelmingly positive. We have received overwhelming support. We've already received many commitments. Not a single member of Congress or U.S. official that I've met with have expressed any support for Nigeria. So we're on the right track, and we're in a very good position as we move into the future. At this convention, we will have speakers from the most prestigious think tanks in Washington, D.C., including Enterprise Institute and In Defense of Christians. We have seen the fruits of this engagement with powerful longtime U.S. diplomats such as Ambassador Tibor Nagy and the American Enterprise Institute, Dr. Michael Rubin, who will be speaking at this convention. Highlighting the plight of the Prime Minister's attention, even critiquing Finland for what's happening, which is very significant. About the shock that people have about U.S. officials supporting the Prime Minister during the current detention. So this shows you the impact of what we're doing. In the next upcoming U.S. presidential administration, I believe there will be a number of independent African states or emerging African states which will be which will have their independence recognized. Yes. Yes. There are already many discussions. There's already talk about, for example, recognizing Somaliland as independent from Somalia in the coming Trump administration. With our work in Washington, D.C., Africa is on that list of countries to be recognized. We will achieve U.S. recognition of Biafra. We're already very close. We're not far away. And once we have that recognition, it will be very easy to get UN recognition, other recognition, as I've said before, where the U.S. leads, others follow. So we will get that. I have also, through my international contacts, interacting with world leaders, states, including in Africa. As you heard my good friend and my other client, the president of the Eritrean government in exile, recognizes and will be the first country to recognize the United States of Biafra. As President Badarai noted, while Eritrea gained independence from Ethiopia in 1991, the people of Eritrea have been under a brutal dictatorship since that time and have not had their freedom. And President Badarai wants to bring freedom and democracy to his people, and it's been an honor to represent his cause in Washington, and he is very strongly supported by our government over the current dictatorship in Eritrea. So his recognition by Biafra is very significant. And I believe through what he's doing, through other contacts we're making, I think we can get recognition for Biafra from as well. So we'll be having a lot of conversations outside the U.S. government with other governments that are sympathetic, and I think we can make a lot of international progress. Biafra's struggle for independence is a sublime one, in which the lands of its indigenous people can finally take control of their own destiny. For too long, the people of Biafra have suffered under colonial bondage and now neo-colonial oppression, being forced to be under the Nigerian yoke. With the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, that is all finished with. Let us strive to create a new nation which will serve its people and be an example to the world. My fellow Biafrans, my fellow freedom fighters, long live an independent and sovereign Biafra. Thank you.
Struggle autopilot until the man they come out. Someone had the pilot. Go to hell, tell Elisa we don't give up. Put Charlie for call, tell and say we conquer. And in our destiny, we want to save Africa. Freedom and restoration.
Mention the correct name of the Messiah.
His name is Yeshua. You can call him Yeshua for short. I am telling you now. I am telling you because we have come to preach the truth. It doesn't matter. May like Yahweh, may like Yahweh is relevant. His name is Yeshua. That's his name. You na papa of a Greek god, Makadega Mama. All powers in the Greece could not buy. All powers in the Greece could not buy. Cannot boom as you. His name is Yeshua. This is the name of the son of Chukwukikabiam. You na papa every son of Parosi. Or Parosi Kobo. Go and read. Go and do your research.
Like you right.
J as an English word came into existence only 480 years ago. What was his name before English word had J in it?
Next agenda on the list is a presentation by the chairperson of the Biafra Business Department, no other person than Honorable Bridget Wajay. Please come up to the stage. Thank you.
All hail Biafra. Please, brothers and sisters all over the world, hear your voice. All must hail Biafra. That is better. Our consultant, Alea, said, where US goes, the whole world follow. And he has guaranteed us Biafra. All hail Biafra.
All the destruction, household goods.
And I am here as the chair of the business team. And so I'd like to welcome all of you that is here, your family, all of you. You have made history for your village, all of you. You have made history for our homeland, all of you. Even though in the bush protecting us from going there, you have made history for them. It is you that matters. Without you here, there is no declaration. So open your mouth and say, all hail Biafra. All must hail Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the house could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre. After being chased for some few yards, they shot at him, and then when they got him, they had to slice him into two. Like, you know, when you want to slice your bread into two, a human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
God bless every one of you. Thank you so much. I bless all of you. And because I've come here on behalf of the business team, there are some business teams that are within. I can acknowledge you. You've done so much work. Every business team member that is here, some have not managed to come. There's Honorable Bernie, there's Honorable Famadina, there's Honorable Ngozi, and I can't see who's at the back. And there's Honorable Reverend Ebenezer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So within the business team, we have a lot of projects. And today I've only brought 2 of the projects to you. We are not criminals. We are funding our project. We are doing our own stuff. We know where we want to go. And so do not relent. The fact that we've now got Biafra, there's a lot more work to do. There's a lot more work to do. Bible said that weeping endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Our joy has come, Biafrans. So do not relent, please. This is the time to do a lot of work. And hence, I've come to present some of the stuff we have. Some of you may have seen this presentation before, but now we're putting this to every Biafran worldwide. There are people who don't want to join. There are people who were doubting, but now this is the time. So the first thing we want to present, please, is the Paradise Home, the Biafran Paradise Home. I can see that. Okay. So what we've done as a government, working with the urban development, who is the minister is here, right, Reverend Ebenezer. We're working with them to be able to begin to build very beautiful homes. And before any home can be built, there's a lot of work that the urban team have put together. You're talking about a lot of rules and standards. So you can't just come into the new Biafra and begin to build. There will be a standard. There will be a code given to you to make sure that the building does not collapse, to make sure that there's enough electricity. Everything you see in the Western world, we want to do more in the land of Biafra. And so once all of that is done, we studio flats. So if you interested in having a beautiful property within the land of Biafra, within the Ebube is our capital. So we're going to kick off on capital and have the same property built there. So our studio flats come from $25,000. If you wanted to buy a 1-bedroom, it's $35,000. If you wanted to have a 2-bedroom, 45, and a 3-bedroom, 55. Now, these are heavily discounted. This is literally about 30% of the value based on the kind of work we're doing with Reverend Ebenezer, the minister, and the team. It will be fantastic. It will be comparable to any property you see in the world. And then we have independent homes. So if you wanted your own 5-bedroom house, we will charge you $100,000. And so if you're interested in any of these properties, please let us know. We'll be honored to work with you. And of course, some of you are already engaged in it. But those that are not, those that have been waiting, they've got millions and billions, and they say, let us wait to see what would happen. This is the time, my brothers and sisters, to come and support us. We need to raise money, people, what we're doing within Biafra. Now, if you want to immortalize your family name, you can invest in a street. The street is $15,000, and that street will remain there forever and ever. If you wanted to buy a lane, please invest. If you wanted to buy a crescent, all the prices are there, and I'm sure you can all see it. If you wanted an avenue, if you wanted a boulevard, that will cost you $100,000. Now, there are other buildings like the hospitals and the stadium. Some of those, we probably sell them maybe in the near future, and some will also be given to our heroes and those that have done a lot to make today possible. But at the moment, this is what we are selling. So if you are interested, there's a whole document. We've got a whole legal team that are working on this, and they'll be very honored to work with all of you. So just like a kind of intro, this is a sample of our studio flat. So that's how it's going to look. We're not going to give you the bed though, but all the so don't come and say, where is my bed, where is my pillow, where is this? You need to do that bed, but the ambientness of it will be comparable to some of the best hotels you've seen today. So that's an example of our 1-bedroom. That's the studio we're selling for $25,000. And then we've got our 1-bed. We've got our 1-bed in a complex, really, really beautiful, well-serviced property. And that's going for $35,000. And then we've got our 2 bedrooms and our 3 bedrooms. And we've got the box, the area. So within that will be sections for businesses, sections for leisure, and section for homes. So it's all being sectioned out, again, by the urban development. There's an extensive amount of work being done. And of course, our PM is part of this group. He oversees everything we do, and we work well with him. So everything I'm saying today, we've discussed it extensively, and it's been approved by our PM. So that is the property. Please, Biafrans, both those that are here and abroad, wherever you're listening to, this is the right time to key in, because where US goes, the whole world will follow. Come and be part of it. Please come and be part of it. We need the money to pay our consultants. We need a lot more consultants. What our shouting and our talking and our everything we do cannot do, our money will do it for us. It is the money that will knock on bigger doors. It is the money that will go to all over the world and get us what we want. It is your money that will go to the four corners of the universe and make them to like us. That very cornerstone which the builder have rejected. This is it. This is it. We are the Biafrans. This is it. So we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate. God bless all of you. So now, can I have, he's talking. Excuse me. Yeah, can I have the other bit, please? Yeah, it's coming. Thank you so much. Excellent. All right, so as I said, I brought 2 items today for this meeting. So we've talked about the properties, and if you are interested, do talk to us later. Now, the next item we're selling, or we're getting you all to part of you here, and those abroad, those that are not here, those that are listening, is what we call the special IOU loan. IOU loan is given by the Bank of Biafra. So Bank of Biafra is inviting you here and abroad to come and give a loan to the bank, to enable us to pay wonderful consultants, to enable us to do what we need to do, to lobby. This is where the job begins. We have now climbed to the top of the hill, and we need to now come down. We need your money. We need your support. Everything you have done from the beginning to this day, we want you to continue. I want you to continue in your groups, those that are giving regularly through donation, whichever way you supported Biafra. Please continue. Do not give up. We do need the money to be able to do what we need to do. So the Bank of Biafra is inviting you to participate in a special IOU loan. Now, I'm taking my time so that all of you can see the website. That is our website. So you go into Biafra Government in Exile, and then you select IOU. And that's where. So when you arrive on this page, sorry, I forgot to introduce somebody. Is Honorable Kelo here? Honorable Kelo, are you here? Yes. Oh, I didn't see you. Please give him a round of applause. He is absolutely behind this IOU, and we work together on it. Welcome, please. Welcome, Honorable Kelo. And so this telephone number is answered within 24-hour zone. So anytime you wake up in the morning, no matter wherever you are, and you want to participate, if you ring that number, somebody somewhere will answer your call and talk to you about IOU. Alternatively, if you prefer, you can send us an email, businessteam@biafranrepublicgovernment.org. Please note all of this so that you can get in touch. And I hear you ask, what is IOU loan? We've given you all the information. So the special IOU allows people, you, your friends, to lend money to the Biafran government. Biafran government guarantees full repayment of the loan lent to us, plus 100% interest. And there's also a very special gift for those that participated in this. The government will repay you when it's fully established in the homeland. And until then, partial or withdrawal is not allowed. We will reward you. We will keep your information very confidential. As I've said, there'll be additional reward. Once it's been processed, a certificate will be issued to you by the business team, and Meha would have received your certificates. Now, there are multiple categories of the loan. So if we start from the lowest, the minimum entry into this loan to the Bank of Biafra is $1,000 or 1,000 ejima. So if you invest between $1,000 and $5,000, you get a bronze certificate. If you invested between $6,000 and $10,000, you will receive a silver certificate. If you invest between $11,000 to $25,000, you will get a gold certificate. And I'm very proud to say that is the level many Biafrans aim to be. So please clap for everybody that participated, please. Absolutely wonderful. We are really, really honored, very, very honored and privileged. And then if you invested between $26,000 and $50,000, that is the platinum certificate. And diamond is $51,000 to $100,000, and then we have Californium, which is over $100,000. And I'm also say there are Biafrans who are also at that level. Please give them a clap offering. That is fantastic. This is what we do. This is what we do. Government will participate. Now, the next level is, so those are the categories. And then what are the creditor requirements? When Famadina and Honorable Kelo, Honorable Famadina, Honorable Kelo brought this idea to the business team, we wanted to sell it as a bond. But then as you all know, bond has so much issues around it. And that's why we've called this a special IOU loan. So it's very different from bond. And therefore we've restricted it to Biafrans, and either by birth or by marriage. We've also restricted it to the friends and supporters of Biafra. The creditor must be at least 18 years of age, and yes, you are allowed to purchase multiple IOUs. When does it mature? The loan matures, all IOUs will mature when freedom is restored and Biafran government is fully established in the homeland. And until then, partial or full withdrawal. Online, all those information are there for you. And then we've given you the step 1 and step 2 and step 3 and step 4. All those things are the things I've already just covered. And then once all of that is done, that is a very simple form. Your details, who is your next of kin, are you a Biafran, your address, all your details are there on the form. And then if you have more than one next of kin, you need to complete that information. And again, the helpline is there if you prefer for somebody to support you, please give us a call. And again, we've repeated the categories to enable you to understand. And then you'll ask you, how much do you want to give? And when you click that, it gives you the whole category, of how much you choose to give. And then you choose your method of payment. Are you paying by a card, PayPal, wire? All the payments are there. Are you paying by third party? Third party is where you give money to somebody to make the payment on your behalf. And once all of that is done, you need to acknowledge and accept. I hereby acknowledge that I read, I understood, and I agree to all the terms and conditions of this IOU loan contract. The act of this document, submitting this document, constitutes full and binding acceptance of this contract. And then you check it there, and once you've checked it, you submit. And as soon as you submit, a copy of the form will automatically hit your email address, and that's it. And then within 10 working days, if all goes well, your certificate will be issued to you. And then you just select this key and you make your payment. Dear Biafrans, we do need your support. Biafra needs your support. It isn't just about the declaration. It's beyond today. It's what you do, how you support us, that will make us pay our consultants and so many other consultants. There are lawyers, international lawyers, we need to bring on board. We need a lot more than if you pay him, we get him to court body, both here and at home and abroad. We do need your support. at this stage, please participate in an IOU. Please purchase the property. Even some of the people who have actually invested in the property or that have invested in IOU are elected for that money to be put towards their property. So whichever combination you want, do get in touch with us. Thank you so much. God bless you all. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Thank you so much.
Energy. All the
So we are still continuing with the theme that, and now we call on stage Pharmacist Diana Eme. Pharmacist Diana.
Struggle autopilot until the number come out. Someone not the pilot. Go to hell, tell Elisa we know before.
This is Exile, right?
Mention the correct name of the Messiah. His name is Yeshua. You can call him Yeshua for short. I am telling you now. I am telling you because we have come to preach the truth. It doesn't matter. May like Yahweh, may like Yahweh. It's relevant. His name is Yeshua. That's his name. You na papa of a Greek god, Makadega Mama. All powers in the Greece could not buy. All powers in the Greece could not buy.
Greetings, friends of Biafra, supporters all over the world. I have this special feeling. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, okay. I feel so special. I have something that has come over me. Anyone that knows me can hear me say always that I am not happy for the fact that our ancestors lived under the condition that they did. And I'm wondering, why did they do that? Why did it take so long? And then I swore that as long as I live, that I'm going to leave this place a better country and a better world for our generation. So the wind of free air is just overwhelming. So I would like you all to say, victory and freedom for Biafra. Victory and freedom for Biafra. This victory and freedom is going to be eternal.
We will never lose it. Those that thought that by not telling to our children is going to sink us. Nothing will ever stop it. We're going to sing it to our children. We're going to go to the top of the mountain. Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, when this victory and freedom will come, we're going to dance on the streets. And then they'll think na mmanya na-egbu anyị. Freedom is just a part of it. The bigger thing is coming. Like I say all the time, I get Worogadan, Jerry, up to work. Freedom must be funded. It must be funded because anaha abaka achwehi. If we do not fund it, then we may not be able to defend it. Getting something, defend the thing that we're doing here to help us generate some finance to fund our freedom and to defend it. So on that, I'm going to call on, I'd like to acknowledge and call on Father Anthony Agowa. Father Anthony Agowa, are you here, please? Is he here? Father Anthony Agowa. Father Anthony Agowa, can you stand up and let's acknowledge you? Actually, I would like you to come up to the stage, Father Agowa, please, if you can. Remember, we're talking about funding victory, funding freedom, and funding to defend our newly freedom. Thank you for the Agowa. Yeah. In talking about this freedom, Father Henry Agowa came up with an idea. Actually, I wasn't in the country when he brought this up. And then mentioned it. We showed it to our PM. He liked it and then said that we should work on it. Project, just 2 months. But the PM said we should, go into it, even if it's a test project. Father Agowa, actually, can I give you this to say a little thing? Do you want to say something about how it came about? I'm going to let Father Agowa tell us the background or the basics of this Biafra freedom raffle. Thank you.
Biafra. So victory and freedom for Biafra. So we thank God for bringing us to this point and for what is going to happen in the years to come. So the journey has started. And we know once God has started with us, we are not going back. So talking about the and he was okay with it. He said I should talk with some members of the team. That's old Imo State. So we know the story of the Sam Mbakwe Airport. Because Mbakwe is one these are people who travel a lot, and we have need for something like a lot. Don't thought at heart, we have to do something, just like the idea of our liberation now. So you cannot hate yourself when you are hated. So you build yourself in love, and that's what we did. So Mbakwe came up with the idea of airport, the raffle ticket. So, and I identified with that project because of the jingle we had. My dad was also in the Biafra war. And a lot of times he wouldn't want to talk about what happened. So you look at your dad, you know that there are things he doesn't want you to know about. He was at the heart of the war. So he died 3 years ago. So the idea of the raffle draw was so Mbakwe now coordinated. We have to raise the money within, and we have to get everyone involved, even kids. And then the idea of the raffle draw came, and I still remember the jingle, you know, of the kids. So it sells to the community. So the song then is Imo Airport here, Imo Airport here, Imo Airport here, Imo Airport. Onye ọbụla tinye aka ya ka anyị jee rụọ ya iji. So that was the song, and that is also the message for all of us. So the freedom is in your hands. Is in our hands, and it is our collaboration that will lead us to what we dream for. So, and then that's what an airport. If all of us contribute too, by buying the tickets, by supporting the raffle for the liberation of Biafra, we will get our dream as quick as possible. So that's the idea of the raffle draw. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the AGOA. Thank you. And one thing he forgot to mention is the symbolism of the $20 raffle. Remember, after the 1967 to 1970 war, what we were given, our parents were given, was only but 20 naira, right? Yeah. It's 20 pounds, I'm sorry. So that's the symbolism. And then we decided, now we're gonna do this for $20, and this $20 is gonna be for victory, and it's gonna be for freedom, and it's a win. All right? Okay, so here we're gonna play this raffle now. We're gonna do the drawing. You know, the British government is known for its transparency. And we are gonna watch it, not behind the scene, but you're gonna see it on the, so this thing? Okay, here we're gonna start from number 2, the generator. Let me come. Okay, so first of all, I want Excel. Okay, is it projecting now? Okay, just stand by because I'm gonna need you again. If you look on the projector there, you see some numbers. Like I told you, this was a short-term project. It is a test project. And then with the results of what we got from this test project, we're going to continue it after this time. And me, you, and everyone going to have to key in. We have to play this raffle because when you play, you win. If you don't even play, you still win. It's our freedom, right? It's for our freedom. We call it Biafra Freedom Raffle, or Biafra Raffle Freedom. So that's what it is. Yeah, if you look at there, you're going to see, like I said, it's just 2 months. And then within that 2 months, a lot was also achieved. So you see the names of the people. You're going to see the player's name. You see the phone number, and then you see their email. Those that played this raffle, all you needed was just your email. You can also even go there as a guest. You don't have to put anything. It's your email and then your credit card or your gift card. So with this, okay, thank you. That's good because that's what we're going to. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So while you watch, we're going to do what is called random generator. The random generator generates numbers. We have list of names and then the number of tickets that you bought. I remember a lot of people ask me that they bought 10 tickets and all they have is just one receipt. Yes, that one receipt is in here. It's going to come up 12 times if you bought 12 tickets. If you bought one ticket, it's going to come up one time. If you bought 10 tickets, it's going to come 10 times. So you have 10 times, chances for you to win. So now we're going to put the minimum random number and then the maximum. And then we are going to watch it. So what do I do? Just put enter. Okay, so watch. Let's see. Number 452. 452. Now let's go to the Excel. 452. Njako. Michael, you Njako is, yeah, that's the first prize, and the first prize is $5,000. $5,000. Yeah, Michael, you Njako, are you here? Yeah, 5,000 hard currency ejema. Okay, so we're gonna so we're gonna do the second one. So we're gonna put another. Yeah, we're gonna put another number here, and then we're gonna find a way to contact him. So let's go. Let's do another generation, number generation. Yeah, just enter it. Number 65. 65, and that's 65. What number? 65. Is it 65? That's the next one. Yeah, yeah. 64? 65. Okay. Bellaria Circle. Yeah. No. It's Florida. Ebu Ano. Ebu Ano, Florida. The player is Ebu Ano. Woo! So we have a winner. We have a winner. Ebu Ano. Yeah. So that's the second winner, and that's 3,000 hard currency ejemma. So the next one. The next one. So the final and the last one, number 248. So yeah, 248. 248. Yeah, 248. Umu. Umu. Eri. Areli. Yeah. Yeah. I say, oh, it's not but I say, Umu, Eri, and Areli. Okay, the third winner is 248, and that name is Umu, Eri, Areli. Umu, Eri, Areli. And the prize is 2,000 hard copy. Thank you, everyone. We will get in touch. We have one of the winners here, and then we're going to get in touch with the others. Please, in our next project for the raffle, you have to play to win. You cannot win unless you play. And then when you play, you help in funding our victory and our freedom. Thank you all.
All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. We thank Pharmacist Diana Eme, Father Henry Agumwa, and the entire team. And we congratulate the winners. Congratulations. All right. So we all know that we have a team of media. We call them the Biafra Writers of Conscience. They sent a delegate with a message for us Biafrans, and we call the Biafra Writers of Conscience representative to the stage. Mr. Simon, are you here? Thank you, Shay.
Good afternoon, great dear friends. My name is Simon Elemedo Rene, an Urobo-speaking Biafran, and what do I do? And I'm here to represent the media team, BRGIE, Biafra Writers of Conscience, BWOC. Still on the course, it says, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow countrymen, I welcome you to this historic and monumentous event, the Biafra Restoration Declaration Convention. Today, we gather to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the sovereignty of Biafra as a nation state. First, let us honor the towering giant on whose shoulder we stand. We extend our heartfelt regard to our eternal leader, our revered Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the visionary leader who boldly declared our sovereignty. We salute Philip Effiong, the courageous second in command who ensured the flame of hope never dimmed. We recognize Ralph Wazirike, the torchbearer who reignited the quest for Biafra against overwhelming odds. We celebrate our leader, Mazina Ndekano, whose bold voice galvanized millions into action, and Mazi Simon Ekpa Unjoko, the relentless fighter who continues the struggle with unwavering courage and tenacity, the one who has united us today. We salute all the brave heroes and heroines of Biafra from 1967 to 2024. Your sacrifice have borne fruit today. To the members of the Biafra Writers of Conscience, BWOC, your sacrifices are incredibly etched into the annals of history. You stood tall and defended Biafra when no one else had the courage to tell our story to the world. It is sobering to reflect that even before many of us were born, the seed of oppression against the Biafran people was sown. The artificial creation of Nigeria by the British colonial officer Frederick Lugard marked the beginning of the relentless campaign to subjugate and erase the identity of Biafra.
the United Nations Working Group, and others have laid bare the atrocity committed against us. State-sponsored terrorism, enforced disappearances, illegal detention, and a corrupt judiciary who perpetuated a reign of terror. The Northern Nigerian Caliphate, driven by insatiable hunger of dominance, seek to uproot us from the ancestral land that belongs to us, forcing us into internally displaced persons camp, otherwise known as IDPs. They aim to exploit our resources while establishing a caliphate on our soil, a diabolical scheme supported by the state-sponsored terrorists masquerading as military forces. Let the world hear this clearly. The survivor of Nigeria, in its current form, is an existential Africa. If left unchallenged, this evil will fester and grow, endangering the entire region. The agenda is to encapsulate in a chilling slogan: take everything from them and leave them with pain and death. For decades, they've plundered our resources, impoverished our people, and turned our land into a battlefield of misery. We remember with heavy heart the genocide that claimed millions of lives. Over 36 agonizing months, our men, women, and children were starved to death, their bodies abandoned as fodder for vultures. The world turned a blind eye in the process, deceived by propaganda that painted us as rebels, while we are merely defending our right to exist. Yet, despite their effort, they could not annihilate us. We are the descendants of survivors, and today we proclaim the unwavering resolve. We will not accept a life of subjugation. Our destiny is sovereignty. Our right to exist is non-negotiable. The restoration of Biafra is not just a political statement, it's a moral imperative. It's a call to secure its name and not to be erased by machination of an artificial state. Today, we reclaim the narrative. Through the power of modern media, we dismantle the falsehood that have overshadowed our truth. We expose the injustices that have long been hidden and ensured the history never repeats itself. This moment marks the rebirth of our collective hope. It is the dawn of a new era, where every Biafran, wherever they may be, will rise to full potential in a sovereign nation built on justice, equity, and freedom. We are the children of resilience. We are the heirs of hope. And today we declare that the restoration of Biafra is destiny. God bless Biafra. God bless the heroes and heroines of our struggle. And may He grant us the strength to see the vision through to total fruition. Long live the sovereign, independent United States of Biafra.
People of Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the houses could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre. After being chased for some few yards, they shot at him, and then when they got him, they had to slice him into two, like, you know, when you want to slice your bread into two. A human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall
to keep your phone silenced while the procedures are going on. So if you find the phone in a phone case, please reach out to Pastor Rose.
People of Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the household could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre. After being chased for some few yards, they shot at him, and then when they got him, they had to slice him into two. Like, you know, when you want to slice your bread into two, a human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
People of Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the household could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre.
No matter how the story be, now on Biafra me I stand. I know they look good face. Propaganda, political propaganda. No matter what this story be, like freedom's what we seek, and none must be free. Yeah. Let somebody tell them that freedom's what we see. Self-determination is not a crime. Self-determination is not a crime. Yeah. The global persecution of my people, it must to end now. We cannot take it again. What else do you want me to say? Yeah, that's why we're seeking justice for my people. Yeah. Justice for Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah.
All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Now, it is our honor, our collective honor, to welcome Michael Rubin from the American Enterprise Institute to talk to us about issues. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by saying...
Recording in progress.
Let me begin by saying Biafra exists. When I analyze, it's important to recognize the obvious. It's willful blindness to embrace some of the excuses which the West uses to avoid discussing the autonomy, the freedom, the liberty, and the independence of Biafra. It is not climate change, but deliberate murder. Climate change doesn't hire Fulani gangs to rape and murder in Biafra. The authorities in Abuja do. And we need to recognize that reality. Too often, the State Department, the European Union, the African Union defer to the powerful against the weak. But that's not how human rights work. When it comes to the abuses of the Nigerian government, they must be held to account. When Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Muhammadu Buhari, the former president of Nigeria and a war criminal from the days of the first Biafra, he took Nigeria off the State Department's religious freedom watch list. The United States and all other countries must calibrate our policies towards the reality of the way things are, rather than the way we wish things would be. The fact of the matter is, on any watch list for religious freedom, Nigeria should be on its blacklist. It should be its worst tier, because reality cannot be ignored, nor should human rights of all those in Biafra be swept under the bus. Frankly, if Nigeria spent as much energy hunting the perpetrators of the free speech of Biafra's leaders, Nigeria would be a much better place. Unfortunately, rather than reform, rather than embrace liberty, rather than embrace self-determination, Nigeria seems to embrace transnational repression. And that is why all Biafra activists in Finland should be free. Now, a lot of people will look at Biafra and say, you know, we've never heard of Biafra. That reflects their ignorance and their ignorance of history, rather than the necessary reality. But then you will have some naysayers who will say, why are you declaring independence, redeclaring independence in Finland rather than in Biafra itself? And again, that reflects an ignorance of history for those who might criticize. After all, Czechoslovakia declared its independence in Washington, D.C., right near where I sit now. And no one suggested that the Czechs and the Slovaks didn't deserve their freedom. The fact of the matter is, when one faces a lethal threat and repression, you need to assert your freedom wherever you may. But that doesn't, when it comes to Biafra, what I see is everything being done right. Let me put it this way. Again, I say this as an academic. I've been to many places around the world in which people desire their freedom. I've been to Iraqi Kurdistan, Turkish Kurdistan, and Syrian Kurdistan. And I've written a book where, while I empathize with the Kurds, they are not yet ready for independence because they have not taken the basic steps to form a unitary government that can step into the vacuum on day one and lead their people. That is something that the Biafrans have, a mistake the Biafrans have not made. What I see today with the organization of the Biafrans has been absolutely and completely admirable. You are not simply symbolically declaring independence, a government which can take over all functions of the government. Now, some people may complain that Biafra now has its own army, and they may say that is a terrorist action. They are wrong. It is the job of any government to monopolize the use of force within its territory. The Nigerian army is the occupying army right now. Its job is not to monopolize the use of force within Biafra, because they have shown when they use force, they use it not for security, to murder, they use it to rape, they use it to charter buses, to bring in militias, so that people, naive people, may believe that they have nothing to do with what is going on in the region. Now, I'm a historian by training, which means I get paid to predict the past. Also, speaking of pay, let me be clear. I am receiving nothing for my advocacy for Biafra. I have been offered nothing. I have demanded nothing, and I am receiving nothing. Nor would it even be legal for me to accept money from anyone. I am speaking only as an analyst and only as someone who wants their liberty. Now, I ask as a historian, where has it worked to force the victims of genocide together with their perpetrators? Where in history has that ever worked? Aggressors must understand that if they turn to genocide, they will always lose. The fact of the matter is, Nigeria lost Biafra in 1967. They won the war temporarily, but they permanently lost Biafra. The decisions they made 7 years ago forfeited any rights they have to control, to occupy, to speak on behalf of the people of Biafra. Let me conclude by saying, as an analyst again, I don't think the United States will be the first country to recognize Biafra. But I pray that it won't be the third country either. Biafra to move from Finland and to lobby vociferously, night and day, in order to ensure that the African Union recognizes that Biafra is already more organized, already more capable of statehood, already will have a higher standard of living, already will be at peace with itself and its neighbors more than many other African countries. And therefore, it will be a boon to Africa, a boon to the African Union, a boon to the democracy in the region, an anchor for stability in the region, in an area that is increasingly unstable, especially as people come from the north in order to destabilize. So let me conclude by saying, with my very short remarks, that I wish I could be with you there today. Family prevented me from coming, but I admire what you're doing, I follow what you're doing, and I pray for what you're doing. Long live Biafra.
I think Agazie, yeah. It's okay, now. Okay. Would there be questions for Michael? Let me ask. Hey, Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am sure that they are listening. I am sure that the West is listening. Michael, I am sure the White House is listening. So, Michael, are you open to take one or two questions? If not,
yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So, does anyone have a serious question for Mr. Michael?
Oh, hail Biafra. Mr. Michael, I thank you for taking the opportunity to speak to Biafrans, and we appreciate what you're doing. My question is, have you had a cup of tea with Donald Trump morning?
A cup of tea, but that's
We need to know. We need to know, with your own experience, what do you think Donald Trump will be saying at this moment?
Let me put it this way. Personnel is policy. Donald Trump is the president. But what matters are those who will be staffing him at the Undersecretary of State for Africa level, at the National Security Council, and the Pentagon. That is who also in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee separately. That is who needs to be lobbied if the Biafrans are going to convince the United States. Quite frankly, American attention right now is on China, it's on Russia, it's on Israel. It behooves the Biafrans to make sure that Biafra reasons, if I may, and this isn't an either or, the Somalilanders have been at this for years and have made tremendous strides. You can jump over much of the preliminary work they have done, to make your case. And given the Biafran diaspora in the United States, given the talent, given how vocal they are going to be your ambassadors. And so I do think it is possible that the United States will eventually see the light. Frankly, I don't think it's possible to go backwards. But as Winston Churchill once said, the United States always does the right thing. They just try everything else first. It's important to get through that process much quicker.
From all states.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to take it to him? Thank you.
I'm sorry, I wanted to stay down because I thought I was very tall, but let me climb up here. I want to thank the Biafran government in exile for bringing Ambazonia team here today. This is a wonderful opportunity. My legs are shaking, and I want to say it's a pleasure to have met and listened to Mr. Michael. I don't know, I'm paying out, and I want to make you understand that Biafra and Ambazonia are seismic twins. I'm seeing him here. I was looking there. All right. Hello. Yeah, they are seismic twins. And I just want to ask you if you've also made some research on the genocide La République du Cameroon is emitting in Ambazonia, with the scorched earth policy, burning of villages, amputation, burning of fathers and mothers in their houses. And if that is done, that would be a very, very great thing for me to take home today and help Biafra.
Thank you very much. I am aware of the situation. I'm aware of the fighting between the Francophones and the Anglophones. I'm aware, based on the Cameroonian community in the United States, in Washington, D.C., who say and describe how much of a police state it is as soon as they land in the country, how they're afraid to go back. I've been in on speakerphone to hear about the situation back home. So I am aware of the situation. Aside from a brief airport layover in Douala, I've never actually been to Cameroon. And I would hope to be able to write more about it in the closest I have gotten is to the Central African Republic. But look, Africa is the second most populous continent. It is, when I look at the economy of Africa, largely, the fact of the matter is Africa is the continent of the 21st century. And I find it shameful, the difference between the rhetoric of the United States and the reality of our policy. We should not be ignoring Africa anywhere. And that means not only the good news stories, but also the problems, such as what's happening in northern Cameroon.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, do you still have time for a few more questions? A lot of people.
Of course I do.
Okay, thank you. You want.
Good day, Michael.
Good day.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
My name is Dr. Ngozi Orobweze. I am the Chief of Staff to the... I thank you for your comments. Don't really have any question for you because what you've said is what any sensible, decent human being will say. But I just want to use this opportunity on behalf of my Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, to thank you for standing up for Biafra. Please continue to do what you're doing for us. Biafrans and generations unborn will be very, very kind to you. That's all I need to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I pray that we will be able to see him in person soon. Free from Finnish prison.
Thank you. Who? Who? Oh, this one? Okay. So, Michael, we have a young man who wants to speak to you from the perspective of the youth of Biafra.
Thank you.
Hello, Michael. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Thank you so much.
That's good. So my name is Chimuchem Anyomre. My family have brought me out here today to understand about this fight for Biafra and this freedom. And my question is there any way or any advice that you can give to us to be able to, influence the other people who want to try and at least contribute or try and help out, spread involved with this?
Yes. My advice is for community. You're writing for people who already agree with you. You want to write with you. You never want to look at someone as your enemy, but rather as someone who is wrong and needs to be convinced to be right. And if you push them into a corner, it's natural human nature that they're going to dig in their heels. But if they are, if it's not a personalized discussion, but rather a discussion of facts, then they can save face when they switch sides and understand that freedom and liberty for Biafra matter. So write for university newspapers, write for school newspapers, write for local newspapers, and write for national news outlets. What I would always say, again, as a writer, and this is something that I've always scratched my head about. You can see I've scratched all my hair off. The fact of the matter is that people will say, not on the Biafra issue, but on other issues. I wrote a letter to the New York Times and they refused to publish it. So I'm emailing it around and the letter is 2,000 words long. Wow. But New York Times letters are only 125 words. It's not that the New York Times disagreed with Biafra. It's that the letter didn't fit the format. So my advice as someone who's published more than 4,000 op-eds, articles, book chapters, and so forth, is you always look at the other letters, articles, and so forth that are published, and you copy the style precisely. No one is going to make an exception for you. So once you get the system, it's actually easy to get published. Editors need a lot of material. I would also say, and I say this, one of my jobs is as an editor. Editors can be very lazy people. If I have two pieces that come in, and one is already perfectly edited and only takes me 5 minutes to go through, and the other one is a mess and takes me 2 hours to work on, I'm going to go on the one that takes me 5 minutes.
Okay.
And so it's important that the editor's job isn't to make it publishable, it's the writer's job. But you guys have the content, you guys have the facts on your side.
Right.
It's just a matter of figuring out how to get them to the public.
Okay.
And for that, I commend your energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless everyone. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Michael, for your support. My question is, why do you think the West, who always clamor for human rights, prefer to partner with these repressive regimes in Africa at the expense of human life?
You know, it's a great question. And it's something that's frustrated me in other contexts. First of all, there's two types of let me put it this way. When George Shultz was the United States Secretary of State under Ronald Reagan, whenever a new US ambassador would be nominated to go to a different country, George Shultz always invited him into his office on the 7th floor of the State Department, and he had a big globe there. And he would tell the ambassador nominee, show me your country. And God forbid, if that ambassador pointed to Gabon or Senegal or Somalia or Kenya, George Shultz would say, no, never forget that your country is the United States of America. The point of this is that some ambassadors believe that they are successful if they have good relations with the country to which they are sent. But that's not the job of the ambassador to be liked by the president, the prime minister, or the dictator. It's the job of the president to advocate for United States national interests. And I would argue that United States national interests are at their strongest when they are backed by liberty and moral clarity. So rather than have an ambassador who simply wants to have good personal relations with an undemocratic leader and therefore endorses undemocratic things or ignores real problems, it's essential that we stand with moral clarity, even if it makes for an uncomfortable meeting. This is why personally, and I wrote about it at the time, I was so disappointed when Secretary of State Antony Blinken, a man who based his legitimacy at his Senate confirmation on the fact that his father-in-law was a Holocaust survivor, when he ignored and took, when he sat with Muhammadu Buhari and when he took Nigeria off the religious freedom watch list. You know, politicians and diplomats don't like to be criticized. And when you see such hypocrisy, if you write about it, and I'm going to the previous question now, that is something which they will notice. They may not want to admit that they are making a mistake, but they will read the criticism and hopefully not make the same mistake twice. So part of the problem is the culture of the American State Department and frankly, the British Foreign Office and so forth. But part of the problem is that the Biafrans need their voice to be amplified far beyond the borders of Biafra and far beyond the confines of the communities within the diaspora.
Thank you, Michael. No. Last question.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate you. I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Yes. Can you please promise the Biafran people that you will keep exposing the Nigerian government and keep exposing the atrocity, and you do the best you can to write up more, whatever you can to speed up the release of our leader, our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, which I call my boss, really good. We appreciate you. Please promise the Biafran people that you will keep helping us in fighting our cause. We look up to you and we believe that you know what we are fighting for. And we really appreciate you. And can Biafran people hear from you? If we can, we hold you accountable with your word that you will always be with us.
Yes. The short answer is yes. The longer answer is the American Enterprise Institute is a nonprofit. I am given the authority to write about whatever I want. There is no pay to play. I am not a lobbyist. I accept no money for my writing. I write based on the principle of what I see, with an effort driven only by me to pursue and to try to change American policy to what I believe would be more just. And therefore, when it comes to me, you don't need to worry about any contract running out or anything like that. That's not why I'm involved. And again, I will never accept any money from a Nigerian. I will never accept any money from a Biafran. I will never accept any money from a lobbyist. I'm doing this because it's right, and therefore I will continue to do it. It's a publish or perish world for an academic, and I'm hooked on the Biafran cause.
Thank you very much. One more again, Congressman Jim Moran, which I know you know, and he's our lobby, and we actually have an alliance here with us as well. Can you as well promise Biafrans that you will work closely, I know, with your what you're doing, and the Congressman Moran and alliance, they be doing justice.
I've testified in Congress before Jim Moran when he was in Congress, and the congressman and I disagree on everything. It wasn't a pleasant hearing for me, and it may not have been a pleasant hearing for him. But, you know, sometimes principle unites. And whatever disagreements we may have on other issues, they don't extend to Biafra. And it's a pleasure to work with allies wherever one can find them on any side of the aisle. Biafra should not be a partisan cause in the United States. It should be a cause of principle. And therefore, I know that we will continue to work towards a common goal when it comes to justice and freedom and liberty for Biafra. I commend Jim Moran for what he's been doing.
Mr. Robin, thank you very much for your commitment in putting the truth out there to the public. On behalf of the Prime Minister, as the government representative in Europe, and I also live in Finland here, in your own words, what would you tell the Finnish authorities right now in regards to the allegations of incitement by our Honorable Prime Minister?
You know, Finland's got to be on the right side of history. Finland especially should live up to its status, its claim as being the freest country on earth. That's what Freedom House ranked it as. And right now they're endangering their status. I should note that this isn't just a Nigeria-Finland issue. When there was an argument, when there was an effort for Finland and Sweden to join NATO, Turkey tried to blackmail both, but mostly Sweden, in order to betray Kurds, and Kurdish dissidents and Kurdish free speech in Sweden, in order to get Recep Tayyip Erdogan to drop his objection to Sweden's accession to NATO. And in the end, Sweden betrayed its principles, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan, while he allowed Sweden in NATO, gratuitously humiliated Sweden. Finland should not allow itself to be gratuitously humiliated by a country that violates religious freedom, by a country that violates democracy, by a country that has been guilty of genocide. Finland must be better, and they must recognize that they should not be an arm of transnational repression.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robin.
Okay.
This concludes our session. Thank you.
Thank you.
People of Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the house could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre. After being chased for some few yards, they shot at him, and then when they got him, they had to slice him into two, like, you know, when you want to slice your bread into two. A human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria. again. God's grace will
now
surely
it's
emerge
time
as a
for
nation.
lunch. The door
And so, as far
is
as this war
opening.
continues,
Please, for those of us that have not received our tags, rather than go line up on the lunch line, you can allow people with their tags to go get their lunch. You go get your tag. By the time you finish with the tag, you go get your lunch. By then, the lines will be shorter. And we get back here at 2:15.
Richard Lindley, News at 10, East Central State, Nigeria.